Hundreds of thousands of federal employees are still off the job to start the week. The head of the country's largest federal workers union weighed in, saying it's time to pass a clean, continuing resolution and end this shutdown today. No half measures and no gamesmanship. The group said reopening the government would allow for continued debate on larger issues like expiring Obamacare tax credits.
Dale Jackson here for Yellow Hammer Now, and you're noticing the cracks in the Democrat foundation are starting to collapse. Now, before we go any further, leave a comment or like this video to help us spread the word on the things going on this page. Now, let's talk a little bit about what's happening here. With the union coming out and saying, look, Democrats should cave and get the government back open, and the pressure starting to mount all over cable news towards Democrats who continue to keep the government shut down. And make no mistake about it, the Democrats are keeping the government shut down. That is not even in question anymore. And when the media turns on you, you know it's pretty bad.
Republicans are refusing to be blackmailed and held hostage into what Democrats want. Mike Johnson doesn't need to do anything.
Well, Democrats, that's what I want is 24 million Americans. I want 24 million Americans to have inflation. No.
Okay,
24 million Americans want their insurance.
We're finished.
Healthy and affordable insurance.
I appreciate it.
You too. Have a good one.
Okay.
Have you back.
You also have members like Katie Britt, the United States Senator from Alabama, saying pretty clearly, look, we want to help pay the people that are being most impacted by this. We've talked about members of the United States military. That got blocked. We've talked about the WIC stuff. That got blocked. We've heard about paying federal employees. That got blocked. Some would argue that's probably a good thing, and I'll explain why in a second. But Katie Britt is making it clear Republicans want to do what they can to help the people hurting during this government shutdown.
Meanwhile, the Alabama Department of Human Resources is reporting that next week, 750,000 Alabamians who rely on SNAP could miss their benefits because of the shutdown. In Congress, Senator Katie Britt is joining legislation called Keep SNAP Funded. That's the name of the act. This would set aside funding needed to keep SNAP benefits going. There is also legislation in Congress that would pay troops during a shutdown.
Now, I have recently and multiple times said that if you want this government shutdown to end, you have to exacerbate pain. You have to create pain. And as you're seeing right now, the food stamp thing is a big pain point for Republicans, for Democrats. Everyone seems to be pretty worried about it for a couple of reasons. One, there are people who rely on this to eat. As sad as that is and how the number is way too high, there are some people who actually need it and who are going to be impacted drastically by this. So with that pain point right around the corner, there's a good chance we will see something get done this week. Should it have taken this long? No. Is this how our government should operate? Absolutely not. But this is where we are. And every attempt to alleviate pain in different sectors is only going to extend the government shutdown. That's the truth. You stop causing pain, and then the government shutdown continues. This is all about pain. And Democrats right now are in a really bad position because they have voted for something very similar to the clean CR that is up right now a bunch of times. And now they're not doing it to try to take a stand. Well, the Republicans know they're trying to take a stand, and there's zero chance they're going to give in on that. And with a government sector union telling Democrats to straight up cave, the end is probably pretty near.